these right-handers now, where the speed increases, the Toprak really struggles and Bautista comes into his own. For Toprak, he may not actually be able to defend into turn 13 just because Bautista's so fast through these next two corners. It could well make it where it's candy from a baby.
Riviere, Ferrari, speed building in towards turn 13. Does Razgatlioglu go defensive? No, he doesn't. Bautista charges through on the inside line. In towards Lorenzo corner, but he goes in too hot. And Toprak Razgatlioglu hits the front. Now Bautista, having had the wider line through that final turn, has got the acceleration advantage down the start-finish straight. 600 metres into turn 1. Razgatlioglu beats him on the brakes. 5 thousandths of a second between them at the half-race distance. Razgatlioglu moves late on Bautista, who's already alongside and already through. Even as late as you dare on the brakes, can Razgatlioglu recover that top spot? Of course he can! Razgatlioglu leads again on lap number 11. We're sending WorldSBK away in style in 2023. Lap 12, Toprak Razgatlioglu leads. Attempt number 3 for Alvaro Bautista moves to the outside. Rinaldi does the same on Dominic Egerter to challenge for third. Razgatlioglu holds on the brakes. The best opportunity is coming into the final sector for Alvaro Bautista because each time under braking into turn 6, into turn 1, Razgatlioglu holds sway. Valiant attempt from Toprak Razgatlioglu, but this is the closest Bautista's been into the final turn. Toprak knows it, takes a wide entry, chops back to the inside line, stands up Bautista. Another brilliant ride from Toprak Razgatlioglu. Somehow he's still leading at the end of lap number 12. Into the 13th. Will this one be lucky for Bautista? It's not lucky for Dominic Egerter. Michael Ruben Rinaldi has found his way through up into third position. Could he now be a contender for the race victory?
Yeah, this is where Rinaldi really needs to pounce and take everyone by surprise, because for Toprak it's a case of trying to hold off Bautista. He's not going to know that it's Rinaldi coming through as well. Rinaldi's been fast all the way through this race, but right now for Toprak this is just everything he has to defend. Look at Gardner and Petrucci coming into this fight as well.
Stunning racing here. The final race of the season, the fitting climax. 2 seconds covering your lead sextet, with Gardner and Petrucci hoping to bring themselves back into the mix. Toprak Razgatlioglu slowing up Alvaro Bautista, no doubt about that. We've got a group fight. It's not what Toprak's intending, but it could well work in his favour if Rinaldi has a go for second here.
Yeah, you can see for Toprak again, he's just forcing Bautista to have to go the long way around the corner into turn 6. Into turn 13, though, he's not able to take that liberty. We've seen it where the door's been open for Bautista to try and come down the inside. Toprak's been able to defend that, but to do that again and again and again is so difficult.
Here goes Bautista, wants to catch Razgatlioglu by surprise. He's made the pass into turn 7. Razgatlioglu straight back into turn 10. It is superbike racing from the gods, but it is Alvaro Bautista who leads, and through turns 11 and 12, Razgatlioglu must answer straight back into turn 13, but is he going to be close enough? This is Bautista's strongest suit, and Toprak is not alongside. From here on in, Alvaro Bautista is surely your favourite. It's taken him 4 laps, but he's finally managed to wrestle his way to the front of the field. Razgatlioglu might have one final opportunity into turn 1 on lap 14, and he will from way back. He's never going to get that stopped, is he? Yes, he is. Somehow Razgatlioglu is your race leader once again. Bautista, though, has to cut back into turn 2. Tight corner here. Bautista hits the front. Here goes Razgatlioglu to get alongside Bautista, but can't quite open the door into turn 8. Razgatlioglu is there. Bautista will know it. Here goes turn 9. Toprak's got nothing to lose. Through he comes again. Bautista will respond. He'll have the inside now into turn 10, and he does get the job done. Now the inside line will be with Razgatlioglu into 11. It's a drag race to turn 11, and Toprak slings it through once again. You thought there wasn't enough passing in Portimao. You're getting even better in the final race of the 2023 campaign. It's now Ducati, Yamaha, Ducati. Razgatlioglu must stay in front of Michael Ruben Rinaldi, but he also needs track position as quickly as possible here on Alvaro Bautista. He is nose to tail at the start of lap 15. 6 more laps to go for Toprak to somehow restore his lead, and here he goes again, lunging down the inside from way back at the end of that 600 metre straight. Razgatlioglu hits the front, with Ducati's menacing on his tail in second and third position. Razgatlioglu leaves the door open. Bautista this time will try an unconventional overtake into Sito Pond's corner. He's got track position. Heading down towards turn 6. This is another opportunity for Bautista to try and break away. Razgatlioglu is not done just yet. Here he goes again on Bautista into turn 9. Alvaro Bautista, if he wants to finish this season with a 6th hat-trick of 2023, is going to have to get the better of Toprak Razgatlioglu at the end of what's going to be one of the best all-time rides yet again in the Superbike World Championship. BMW don't know how lucky they are for next season to have Toprak Razgatlioglu. He leads the way coming to the end of lap 15.
They know exactly how lucky they are, but they're having to pay a premium for it, and this is why you pay the premium for Toprak Razgatlioglu.
Toprak Razgatlioglu with the inside line. He's had it throughout this race so far into turn 6, enough to outbreak Alvaro Bautista, but that's another sign of just how hard Razgatlioglu is being forced to work. A bit of a moment there coming off turn 5 and onto the straight, 600 metres, and then underbraking. Toprak able to get back alongside. If the straight were any longer than that, Bautista would probably be away and gone by now, but as it is, Toprak digging in and is still your race leader. Bautista on the inside into the final turn on lap 16, and Razgatlioglu straight back down the inside, straight onto the curb and straight across the path of Alvaro Bautista. Interrupts his rhythm down the start-finish straight, back in towards turn number 1, Expo 92 here in Jerez, and it's Razgatlioglu still who holds sway. This is astonishing once again.
He's doing everything he can to try and make sure he's got that pace, but you're having to defend. You can see here Bautista gets through down the straight, but Razgatlioglu is so late on the brakes. You see that again into turn 13, where for Bautista, even though he's got that speed advantage into the corner down the straight, he's not close enough to be able to outbrake Toprak. Really good stuff from Domi, and worth getting the attention for that as well. Bautista's in too hot
into turn 1, and Razgatlioglu has a little bit of breathing room to Alvaro Bautista, who's pushing hard from second place.
Let's see if Bautista's able to try something down into turn 13 once again. For Toprak, you can see he's trying to carry as much speed as he can now, leaving it where Bautista has to get down the inside. But can he get the bike stopped? He's been able to do it this time. Toprak tries to just gas it up down the inside to retake that lead, and that's what you get with Razgatlioglu. We see it with Jonathan Rea as well. That's what makes them so difficult to attack against, because once they get an opportunity, they immediately try and just get straight back down the inside.
Into turn 1 this time for Alvaro Bautista on the penultimate lap, but he can't get it stopped in time, and again Toprak Razgatlioglu recovers top spot. Bautista almost looking desperate at this stage. He's trying in places where he hasn't previously in this race too.
For Alvaro Bautista, he needs to make his overtakes in different locations.
Alvaro Bautista with the wide line coming through turn 5 to build up his momentum. Razgatlioglu commits early to the inside. Bautista wants the cutback, but Razgatlioglu is there on the racing line.
We've got one lap to go after this one. Bautista's going to hold the right-hand side of the track into turn 6 next time around. There was no need to make the move into turn 13 this time around for Bautista. We've seen turn 13 be the moment where so many races have been decided here at Jerez. Superbikes Grand Prix racing as well. That's what it could come down to. But for Bautista, let's see if he tries to hold that tighter line down the back straight from turn 5 to turn 6 and try and get his bike placed down the inside to try and make sure that he's the one that can dictate what happens into 6.
And Razgatlioglu's broken away. 0.3 of a second he makes up. The problem for him is that in Sector 2, Bautista has regularly been 0.3 of a second faster, so he will be straight back onto Razgatlioglu's tail, and then it is about that second half of the lap, the final turn. It's going to go down to the final turn of the 2023 season. Razgatlioglu versus Bautista. It's been a season-long scrap. Bautista will be on the outside again going in towards turn 6. He wanted to get back to the inside, could have run the tighter line. Dominic Egerton's now out of the running for the race victory. He runs wide through turn 6. It is a straight shootout between Razgatlioglu and Bautista with just over a sector remaining. Razgatlioglu still leads the way, but only just.
Turn 9, let's see if Bautista tries something in a little bit of a different location. He's not close enough. It's all going to be about turn 13, trying to outbrake Toprak on the last corner for his last race with Yamaha, trying to pick up another race victory.
The tight turns 9 and 10. Angel Nieto then opening up into Crivier and Ferrari. The speed's building towards Lorenzo corner for the final time. Bautista all over the back of Toprak Razgatlioglu. Toprak has held on for 11 full laps, but can he hold on through the final turn? Bautista to the inside. Razgatlioglu, as he has so many times in this race, cuts back across the curve. Drag race down to the line. Big moment off the final turn from Bautista. Toprak Razgatlioglu must have got it there, but by the narrowest of margins, 300ths of a second to win the team's award for Pata Yamaha. Toprak Razgatlioglu with the best individual ride of the season to take race 2 and send us into the winter with something to look forward to ahead of 2024. More of that to come from Toprak, no doubt about that. Alvaro Bautista is denied a 6th hat-trick of the season. Toprak in his final race with Yamaha delivers them the team's award and delivers a remarkable 20 laps of World SBK.
Yeah, that was just ridiculous. And obviously Jonathan Rea leading the race in the early stages before his crash. He might well have been involved in that scrap as well. It actually probably worked out better for Toprak that Jonathan wasn't in that, because how many times in the past have we seen it where those two riders fight with each other and it ends up opening a door for Bautista? As it was, Rea signs off from his time with Kawasaki, 17th in this race, not scoring a point. But let's look back at 6 World Championships and the podium this morning in the Super Pole race, because Rea and Kawasaki for 9 years, they've been that benchmark for so much of World SBK. It's been such an impressive run for them. But now the run comes to an end, and after today, it'll be Jonathan Rea in blue to replace Toprak Razgatlioglu. They're big shoes to have to fill.
Win number 40 for Toprak Razgatlioglu. He's waited since the Super Pole race at the French round, round number 9 of the season. But race victories in feature-length races have been rare as hen's teeth for Toprak Razgatlioglu. And I'm just receiving information that Toprak Razgatlioglu has exceeded track limits in the final lap. I can't believe this.
Turn 13.
I cannot believe
out onto
this.
That curb. We saw them come together almost, and
I don't even think Alvaro Bautista will want to win that one. Not like that. Toprak Razgatlioglu has been penalised. The information now confirmed. Toprak Razgatlioglu drops a position for exceeding track limits at turn 13 on the final lap. He won't know it yet, but if he smashed the tank after the 2 races on Sunday in Portimao, you will not believe what he is going to react to this one. Ducati celebrating, but to be perfectly honest, that race was won on track by Toprak Razgatlioglu. I know that they'll enjoy having another hat-trick and finishing their season in style, but you'd have to say the moral victor there on that final lap with a sensational ride was Toprak Razgatlioglu.
Yeah, that's a bit gutting there for Yamaha and for Toprak in particular. Whenever he comes back into the pits, he'll be devastated by that. He wanted so much to be able to sign off with a race victory. As it is, a hat-trick for Alvaro Bautista this weekend. He was the fastest rider in that group for the whole race, in fairness, but it's about trying to make sure you're in a position. And yeah, you can see there for Toprak, he runs out onto the green paint, and turn 13 is actually the only place where track limits come into effect here in Jerez, so it's one of those situations. Toprak, at the end of the day, he's ran out of track there because he's gassed up through turn 13 to try and put himself in a position to be able to attack Alvaro Bautista and get back underneath him.
And of course Ducati and Bautista will argue, well, if he hadn't used that little bit of extra track, maybe Bautista would have made up the 300ths in the run to the line. The rules are the rules. But Razgatlioglu celebrating that race, and I'm afraid he hasn't won it. It is Alvaro Bautista who gets the race 2 victory. Nonetheless,